Welcome back to my pizza channel. This is the Pizza Guy John. Today we're going to be making something special in the Ooni Koda 16, and it's not going to be pizza. Alright, so today we're going to be making something special in the Ooni Koda 16. Right here I have my Ooni grizzler pan. It's a double-sided, so you have one side which is just a flat side here, which you can basically just use for sauteing, and then you have your other side here, mainly for burgers, stuff like that. It does have these in there, so indentions in there, so that is good. It does come with two handles here, so this is basically used whenever you do grab the oven while it's in the or grab the pan while it's in the oven. Basically you just put that there, and it helps you grip it. That way you're not using your hands, this is cast iron, so it is hot. So what we're going to be basically cooking today in the oven is going to be some thin cut sirloins here, which again I've already seasoned with some oil, salt, and pepper. And again, you can do that however you choose. We also have some vegetables and some olive oil, salt, and pepper as well, which again will be sauteing on the flat side of the grizzler pan. And then we'll be also cooking some potatoes as well. And then you got your topping, sour cream, chives, salt, pepper, whatever else you want to put onto that. Let's go ahead and let's get the oven started, get that preheated. And while that is preheating, we'll also put the pan in there as well. So let's go ahead and get the oven started. Again, you want to give it a couple seconds with it pushed in. Go ahead and release that, and as you can see, the oven is on. And so while the oven is on, we're going to go ahead now and we're going to get the grizzler pan in there, and we're going to go ahead and actually flip it around. We're going to do the vegetables first, and so we'll go ahead and again grip it with the two handles, and we'll just go ahead and put that in there just like that. And again, we're just going to go ahead and get that preheated for about 20 minutes on high. Alright, so the oven's been preheated now for about 20 minutes. If we're looking at the cast iron, we're looking at about 870, so it is perfect. And so basically what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get this taken out. And again, you use the handles here to grab it and make sure you get a good grip, and then you want to go ahead now and just go ahead and put it down here onto the board. And what we did while the oven was preheated, I went ahead and cooked the potatoes basically in the microwave for about 16 minutes, only because again they are pretty thick, so you want to go ahead and just cook these for about 16 minutes. And basically now what we're going to do is get a crisp, and we're going to go ahead and just get the oven turned off. And then we're going to go ahead now and just put all our veggies on. And again, all this will cook pretty quick since it is piping hot. And dropped a couple, but no worries. And just going to go ahead now and just get that there. And we're just going to put this back into the oven. Yep, dropped another one. No worries. And good thing we're cooking outside, we don't have to deal with the cleanup. Now since the oven is off, we're going to go ahead now and just grab it. And we're just going to go ahead and place this back now into the oven. And just give that a couple minutes. So we're just going to give that a couple minutes, and you can go ahead and hear that sizzle. See that smoke. Alright. And you can smell that broccoli cooking up. So now what we'll do now is a couple seconds. We'll go ahead now. Let's take this out. And again, you want to be very careful that you grip it pretty good. Want to put that down, and we're gonna go ahead just get the potato, and you can see it did get crispy there. Let's go ahead and spin that one a while and get this one spun around, and we'll just get some of these veggies also kind of mixed around as well. And again, you could do any type of veggies. Again, I like broccoli, so some broccoli is good. And we'll kind of just get this one as well. And let's go back into the oven. And again, make sure that you do have a good grip of this. And just go back into the oven here. And we'll let that cook a little bit more. You can see that smoke. And again, you definitely don't want to grab that grizzler pan with your hands. Again, you want to make sure you use these. And Ooni does have a smaller grizzler, so if you're just doing, you know, one item, you know, they do have one that's also double-sided as well. So let's go ahead and take this out. Make sure you got a good grip on that. And you put it down here. And honestly, these potatoes look pretty good. Like I said, I did cook them in the microwave for about 16 minutes. So they are nice and cooked good. Again, we just wanted to get a little crisp on it. Get the veggies a little bit more. Get some of these bigger ones. Alright. So these potatoes, let's actually just go ahead and let's get it into here and we'll get them covered up. Since those are nice and cooked. And actually you could get the veggies a little bit more. And see, now you have a big cooking area now for all your broccoli. And we'll go ahead and put it back in there just a little bit longer. Kind of just want to get them a little crispy as well. So let's get that placed in there. And we'll give that again about a minute or so. And you can still hear that sizzle, nice and cooking. Once the veggies or the broccoli is done, then I'll go ahead and turn it back on just for about a minute or so. I'm gonna actually flip it over to the other side, and then we'll go ahead now and throw down our steaks on there. And you can already start smelling that broccoli cooking up pretty good. And so while that's cooking, let's go ahead and let's get our steaks. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this out and give them one last spin. Get this guy over here. Alrighty. And so we're looking pretty good with the vegetables. So at this point, we're going to go ahead now and sort of get them into our bowl that we have here. Those are going to be nice and cooked good. And again, if they're broccoli, they don't have to be super soft. But if you do want to get them extra soft, you definitely can. Just flipped over. So let me actually get the other glove. And what you want to do now at this point is you basically just want to go ahead, you want to get this flipped over. If you have any extra stuff on there, that's totally fine. And now that that's flipped over, toss those there. That is still going to be pretty hot, looking about 200, 300. So let's go ahead and let's get these steaks down on there. And again, you will get some sizzle. There we go. Alright, so now that those are on there, let's go ahead now, let's get this back into the oven. And we're gonna go ahead and get that in there. And again, they are thin cut, so they will cook pretty good and pretty quick. So we could do a minute or so on one side. You can already smell that, smells so good. And we could probably actually get this turned on just to low. So let's get it a little windy. And so we'll go ahead now and get that to about low right there. All right, so the wind, it is pretty windy, so we're not even going to try the oven. But it's been about a minute, so let's go ahead now and let's get this flipped over. You can see they are cooking pretty good. So let's get this one here. And you could go ahead and just get this. There we go. Oh yeah, so you can see that cooking nicely. So let's go ahead and get this one now. And we'll get that one cooked over. And let's get this one as well on there. And we'll go ahead now and toss this back in there. And straight back in. And we'll go ahead and give that about a minute or so now, since like I said, they are thin cut, so they will cook pretty good and quick. Yeah, so we'll give it about less than a minute or so. Let's go and take a look and see how the oven's cooking. So looking still about 260. So basically right now we're looking pretty good and about in the middle, 170. So it is pretty hot. So that's a good thing about that grizzler. It does keep the heat. And so we'll give it about a couple more, maybe about 30 seconds or less. And then we'll take a look and see how good they're cooking. All right, let's go ahead and pull this out. At this point, I would say that these are cooked pretty good. Again, they're nice and brown. Let's see that bottom, a little juicy. See little grill marks there. Totally cool. And a little sun. So, let's see. Could probably give it just a couple more seconds here. Actually, let's get this middle one here. That one's good. And so let's get that back in there. Just get a meat thermometer. Right. All right, so let's go ahead and pull this out. And again, if you do have a meat thermometer, again, you can go ahead and always test it as well to see what the center. So about 155. This one we're looking at about 145. About 145. So depending on again what you like, medium rare, you got 145. 160 well done. So at this point, let's go ahead and get these inside and let's go ahead and plate the food. All right, so now that we got this cooked up, let's go ahead now and let's get it plated. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab this guy right here. See, it is a juicy sirloin. I'm gonna go and get some vegetables down here as well. Right. And then let's go ahead and let's get our potato, which again is nice and cooked really well. Very soft. Let's go ahead and get that. So we got the potato here. We could go ahead now and let's get it cut down the center. Right. Nice and soft there. Alright, so we have the potato here. Let's go ahead and let's get some salt. This is just some sea salt. Get that in there. Go ahead now, let's get some pepper. Let's get our sour cream here. And you can put as much as you want. Cheese. Right. And then you got your chopped chives. All right, so we got all our toppings and everything. Let's go ahead and take a look at the steak and let's get a bite of this as well. Let's see, as you can see, nice and cooked, no pink. Really good, seasoned really well. Such a good flavor. Let's go and get some veggies. Perfect. Veggies have a nice little crisp as well. And again, we have our baked potato. And still see that steam coming off of it. Perfect. Nice little crisp on the outside. So now there you go. You have baked potato, broccoli, and a sirloin steak cooked in the Ooni Koda 16 using the grizzler double-sided pan. Again, if you like what you see, check out the affiliate links down below. It definitely helps out me and the channel as well. If you like my other videos, go ahead and give a subscribe. turn that bell notification on. Check out my Instagram at the Pizza Guy John. If you have any video recommendations, questions, comments, leave them down below and I'd be happy to answer you. Thank you.